Hello, my name is Ben Lovegrove, and in this video I'm going to describe the Boeing B-52 Stratofortress. As well as summarizing a few facts about the aircraft, I'm also going to mention a couple of times I encountered it myself, once in the air and once on the ground. The B-52 has been in service for over 60 years and is forecasted to remain so for many years to come. It is a long-range, subsonic, jet-powered strategic bomber capable of carrying up to 70,000 pounds or 32,000 kilos of weapons with a range of over 8,800 miles without air-to-air refueling. Over the course of 7 decades, its electronic equipment, armaments and defences have changed according to the various roles for which it has been designed. Today, it is mostly used for the delivery of conventional bombs and air-to-ground missiles, AGM. Currently, there are 58 of the B-52H variants in active service with the US Air Force and 18 others in reserve. A further 12 are in long-term storage. 7 months after the Boeing B-29 Superfortress named Enola Gay dropped atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, bringing a final and deadly end to World War II, the US Air Force invited aircraft manufacturers to submit proposals for a new strategic bomber. Boeing, Consolidated Aircraft and the Glenn L. Martin Company responded, but it was Boeing that won the contract to build the new bomber. Years of design, the production of various prototypes, and changes of requirements by the USAF followed. It wasn't until 1951 that Boeing was awarded the contract to produce 13 B-52As, the final design being based on the B-47 Stratojet. The B-52 is powered by 8 Pratt & Whitney turbofans fitted in pairs in 4 pods attached by pylons to the leading edge of the wings. During the 1980s, while training for a private pilot's license, I was flying with a flight instructor over Wiltshire in southern England. We were on a navigation exercise during which I was to request permission to fly through military airspace, a procedure known as MATS penetration, Military Aerodrome Traffic Zone. While still a few miles outside the zone, I gave my radio call requesting permission to pass through the airspace, and the air traffic controller granted permission but warned us to be on the lookout for traffic ahead passing west to east low. The instructor and I continued on track, maintaining heading and altitude, and kept a good lookout. Eventually we spotted the traffic. It was a B-52 coming into land at the military airfield. I'll never forget the sensation of being at about 2,000 feet and looking down on a B-52 making its final approach to land. Of course I could not hear it. I could only watch as this great leviathan of the skies touched down on the long runway. The second time I saw a B-52 was at the Royal International Air Tattoo in the late 1990s after the Gulf War. Stories had appeared in the press at that time describing surgical strikes during which airborne cruise missiles launched from B-52s could find their way through a window of a building and demolish it along with its unfortunate occupants. The aircraft was on static display, and some of its crew were standing at ease behind the crowd barrier, ready to answer questions from the general public. These fit young men of the US Air Force in uniform and wearing sunglasses were drawing admiring glances from some of the female onlookers. One approached the crew and asked with a giggle, "And what do you do with your aeroplane?" Without hesitation, one of the crew replied, "Well, ma'am, you could say we're in the business of urban redevelopment." The B-52 has been deployed during the Cold War, the Vietnam War, the Gulf Wars, and on operations over the Balkans, Afghanistan, and Syria. Add this giant of the skies to your collection. Click the link below to view a 1 in 200 metal die-cast scale model of a US Air Force Boeing B-52 Stratofortress bomber. Thanks for watching, but don't go yet as I have an important request. Please consider doing one or more of the following. If you'd like me to create a video for you to promote your products or services, go to redspan.com and use the contact form or just leave a comment below. Do the same if the sound of my voice is a fit for your voiceover needs. If you'd like to sponsor more videos like this, go to patreon.com/Redspan. Your donation, however small, will help me to improve both the quality and the quantity of my videos. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and share it with others. If you have any opinions, questions or feedback, please post a comment. Finally, subscribe to my channel and click the bell to be notified of new similar videos. Thank you for your kind attention.